Hello everyone. This is going to be an informative guide on how to count to 10. This game is actually called Count to 10, ironically, which is pretty cool. It's a newish game on Steam, free to pick up if you want to learn how to count to 10. This is basically going to be a walkthrough slash tutorial slash learn to play with kind of game, or not game, but like gameplay that that will be showcased in this video. So let's just hop right on into it. So as you can see here, this first numerical value we see here is actually called 0. The way you can see that is seeing how there's a big loop, and that is 0. Sometimes you'll see 0 with a slash through it, basically so on, but this is 0. The second number here is the number 1. Sometimes the 1 has a little tail here, and it looks like that, like a little half kind of like arrow. Other times it's just straight up and down. There's no little tail. Sometimes it's the little tail, and like there's a bottom part on the bottom, making it look like a little golf hole thing. It's pretty often to see. May not be all that occurring. It's just basically been based on penmanship, but this is the one that you see when typed on computers. It may also be confused with a number that is coming up later, but I don't want to spoil that for you guys, as it is kind of a spoiler. The next number here, we have 2. Very, very iconic number. 2 is probably the second best number that you will ever see. It's the second number you will ever encounter in life too. You can tell it's the number 2 by like a little snake head plus the bottom kind of like a Z, like you're doing the little Z, but instead of that sharp right acute angle, you get a little curve, like it's a little hook, and that's how you know it's the number 2. The next number here is the number 3. Kind of looks like a person kissing lips, looks like a butt, depending on how you want to look at it. But the way I like to look at it is it's the balls of the shaft. You know, you get the ball sacks. Yeah. It's just a weird quirk I see when I look at it. But it's the number 3. It also looks like another number that I will not spoil, similar to number 1, as it is very important in the lore, and I don't want to get ahead of myself for you guys and for myself. The next number is number 4. This is actually a very fancy way of writing the number 4. Sometimes they just do little kind of like this kind of motion. There's just this part of like angle right here is not actually connected. It's just straight up and down, and this little tail here at the other end is not there. Sometimes it is just kind of a penmanship quirk, but this is the type of 4 you see on computers and stuff, and it's pretty iconic. It's one of a kind of number. It's very nice to look at. Nice little triangle. Looks like it could continue on, making a nice pattern. And that's the number 4. The next number we have is 5. 5 is very important because it's a very nice even number. When you count in fives, it's one of the best ways to count, just counting groups of 5s. You can number off people in 5. You can $5 bills, easy to give out to people, pay with as a legal tender. It's similar to the number 2, but it's kind of like an upside down reverse, as you get the little hook here, and then you got the sharp line here, but instead of it connecting in, it just does a little up and then in. So it's kind of like a G, go up and in. And that's the number 5. It is pretty iconic. It does, however, look like the next number, which is 6, but see how this section here connects, instead of how in the 5 it has a little gap there, and for the 6 it comes around, hooks down, and that's 6 is also very iconic, just like number 4, but in different reasons. 6 is a very iconic number because when you're counting in 6s, you get to number 12, you get to the number 18, but as this is only a counting to 10 tutorial and video, I will not be getting ahead of myself, as that is too advanced for the for this video right here. Maybe down in the future, I will go on to a 11 through 20 video. The next number here is 7. 7, like I said, looks very similar to 1, and you could probably get confused by it. As you can see, there's the little tail here, and it's like straight up and down. Depending on how chicken scratch someone's handwriting is in person, that may be confusing to look at, so you always want to clarify with the person. Hopefully they don't do the little tail thing like the number 1 has on the computer, because that could be a lot of information leading to a lot of tax write-offs or tax breaks that may not be legal. I am not saying I have done this, but it has occurred with people. Just always double check with people, okay? The number 7, iconic as it is a prime digit, it cannot be divided by anything, which is a fun fact. Next up is the number 8. As like I alluded to earlier, it looks like the number 3, but it is flipped over twice and is kind of mirroring each other. That is why I like the number 8. Also, fun fact, if you turn the number 8 on its side, it is the infinity symbol. And the infinity symbol is very important because it means it's basically every number that has ever existed and will exist. And that is why it's a pretty cool symbol. And I think 8, it definitely means that, because 8 is just such a great number. It can be divided by so many times, subtracted, added, multiplied. It can be square rooted potentially if you really want to get freaky deaky with your math. And that's why I think number 8 is one of the best, is the top 8 numbers in the top 10 series. Number 9 is the second to last number we got here, and it's kind of like it's literally just an upside down 6. If you put the two numbers together, they're basically just a mirror to each other. Like you got 6 and then 9. If you just flip them over, it's 6 and 9. Like, it's just great pairing if you put them together. Like you should always be putting 6s and 9s together, just no matter what. In real life, on paper, just even in your local pub, just put them on together, because they're the greatest pairing numbers that you can put together. And 9, to me, it also looks like it's a coming of age number. As you can see, you got like the bagging of the eyes, the drooping face here. It just shows wisdom in a person, and like in the numbers, numerical scale. That's why I think number 9 is such a important number on the scale, as it brings all the other numbers that we had before together under this great grouping of numbers called 1 to 10. These whole integers, these whole numbers that bring the story of 1 through 9 together and wrap it up in this neat package that offers a great conclusion to this series of numbers. This last number, I will warn you, it'll probably make you cry with how impactful it is just upon gazing it. This number, it brings a tear to my eye every time I just mention it to people, just think about it. Like, I think you all will appreciate this last number, and that is the number 10. Whoa, shit, what the fuck? Oh,